Hey guys, Jake here. Welcome back to the channel, and today we are bringing you my official 2021 in the bag. Now, just a disclaimer, throughout the year, depending on the courses I'm playing, there'll be discs that are going to be going in and out of the bag, but these will be the main discs, the main core disc that I will be using that I've been using up to this point, and what I'll be using the remainder of the 2021 season. So let's get into it. Starting with the putters, I putt with KC Aviars. Now I will say in the wintertime, these get a little too slick for me. So you'll probably see me in the fall and winter times. I'll switch to either I've been trying out the Nexus Aviar, or I have a small stack of James Conrad Aviars, kind of like JK Pro Aviars, really kind of grippy Aviar plastic or whatever. So I'll swap to those when it gets cold. But for these summer months down here in Texas, stiff KC Aviars. Now to the most important and my favorite disc in the bag. This is the Berg from Costa Plus. I'm currently carrying 4 in the bag. Now, do I need 4? No, I just basically, this new blue one is new to the bag. I haven't really thrown it yet. I'm just still getting a feel for how this flies. But I used 2 different plastics. We got the K3 from Costa Plus, K3 plastic. This is that prime plastic. It's grippy. It does beat in fairly quickly, but these are great. These fly dead straight out of the box, and even this yellow one that I'm showing you in the front has been oldest in the bag. It's pretty beat up. It even turns a little bit now. This yellow and blue one back here are the K1 plastic. They're more premium plastic. These are a little bit overstable out of the box. Probably live up to that 1 to 2 fade. The premium plastic does. The K3s, these fly pretty much dead straight out of the box. So Bergs, if you're looking for an upshot disc, I cannot recommend this disc enough. Some other throwers I have, we have one XT Nova here, and this one is pretty much for floaty straight shots, maybe some soft anhyzers that kind of float towards the basket. Basically something I need to fly a little bit more than the Bergs. The Bergs, why I like them so much is that they don't fly, but every once in a while you need kind of a floaty shot, and this Nova is in the bag for exactly that. However, in Texas, it obviously gets windy. Can't be throwing the Nova all the time. So I also have a jawbreaker zone for upshots as well. Overstable, but not nearly like their premium plastic. This will fly pretty straight and have a solid fit, a little bit more fade than the Berg at the end. But yeah, zone, another solid disc. Moving on to the mid ranges. Let's start with the overstable stuff. To start off with, I have one Champion Caiman. This is a recent addition to the bag. And the reason I only have one is I only have 2. I need to get my hands on a couple more of these, but these are the first discs that I can reliably throw out there on a forehand on a hyzer. Pops the flat, rides a good ways, and then has a solid, not a dump, but just a gradual fade off at the end. I really like the flight of this disc. It's been a game changer for me, Champion Caiman. I got 2 more zones in the bag besides the jawbreaker. We got this Glow Z zone. This is for the 2019 Ledgestone Open disc. This one's great, stiff, very overstable. You can rip on this, it will always come back. Great disc. And I have a Brody Get Freaky zone. This is the Z Flex plastic, little gummier than normal. This is the most overstable of the zones that I found. The Z Flex tends to be the most overstable plastic. This is for those ridiculous winds that I need approaches on and all that stuff. And then finally, the money mid-range, I carry Emac Truth. I only have 3 in the bag right now. This could go up to 5 depending on what course I'm playing, but the core 3, bottom line bare minimum what I have is that I have an Emac Truth that flies straight and drifts off to the right for me. That's this yellow one. This kind of red pink one. This one is beat in perfectly right now. This flies dead straight, release it flat, dead straight flight. And then we have this Lucid X Emac. This one flies out flat and straight, and then has a reliable fade at the end. Not quite as much fade as the Caiman. Again, just a reminder for the straight discs is basically you have one that's like straight, drifts to the right, one that's dead straight, and the one that's straight and drifts to the left. Basically my breakdown of basically my mids and fairways. Moving on to the fairway drivers. Currently carrying, because I throw Emac Truths really far, I like to think that I do. I haven't really had a need for those slower speed fairways, like those speed 7, basically the 7-speed fairways. Anyway, so I just go right up from Emac straight to an Undertaker. I can control the distance on these really well, and I have the breakdown pretty much the exact same way as the Emac Truth. Got this orange one. It's been in the bag probably the longest. This goes straight and drifts off to the right. We have this ESP Undertaker. This one flies dead straight. And then we have this 4-time titanium Macbeth Undertaker. This one flies straight and has a real good finish to the left. This one's starting to beat up a little bit, so it might be time for me to kind of put a fresh one in the bag so I get that reliable finish to the left each and every time. Again, not to say this is bad, it's just working its way into where it's just that dead straight. Next is the workhorse of my bag. We got 4 Firebirds in the bag. You might be like, that's a ridiculous amount of Firebirds, but these have been well worth it. I throw them a lot in every round. I got 2 2017 Sexton Firebirds. These are my favorite run of the Sexton Firebirds because they're not as overstable as the other ones. I like these a lot. They've worked in really nicely. You can even like throw straight to slight turnover shots with this Firebird into headwinds now. So it's actually a new shot to the bag I really enjoy. But basically forehands, backhands, thumbers, grenades, tomahawks. This disc can do it all, and that's why there's so many in the bag. And the last, I guess I'm putting it in the fairway slot, but it's purely utility. This is a PD3 from Discmania. This is the line stamp for the 2020 European Open. Unfortunately, that didn't happen last year. This is only thrown maybe 1 to 2 times around. If I'm throwing it any more than that, I'm in some serious trouble. This is stupid, ridiculously overstable. It doesn't fly anywhere. This one, if I need maybe a little bit faster shot than the Firebird, I'll go with this. But this is primarily for skip shots, maybe some insane flex plays in the woods. Yeah, not thrown very often. Super utility disc, but it's a good one. Now finally to the distance drivers. I keep this really simple. Currently in the bag I got 4 Raiders. Usually I have a stack of Raiders, all different plastics, but the longest flying ones in my bag are definitely these Biofusion ones. I have a few more of these. Biofusion plastic tends to be more understable than like your traditional fusion and lucid plastics, and these are max distance. These go out there, smash a long ways. These will actually hold the ante. If you crank one over, it'll actually hold the ante the entire flight. It's really kind of nice. Raider is a great disc. These are 2 Biofusion, as I mentioned, and then finally I got 2 regular fusion ones here. These basically rip them out. They're flat. They'll maybe get a little drift to the right, not quite a turn right now. These will fly straight, slight drift, and a reliable finish to the left. These are great for both forehands and backhands. And finally, for the super overstable stuff, here in Texas, as y'all may know, get some stupid strong winds down here. And unfortunately, the Lucid Raiders I was having were not strong enough to hold up to like the 30-mile-an-hour winds we were getting down here. So literally just recently I added these C-Line PD2s to the bag, and they live up to their name. Now just disclaimer, these are only for headwind shots and stuff. I do not have a strong enough arm to throw these reliably all the time, but this is the first disc I was able to actually take on about a 25-mile-an-hour headwind, rip a forehand out there nice and flat, and this thing didn't budge. Flew dead straight, reliable finish to the right for me. I'm just like, I'm pretty much sold. There's no way in heck this disc is ever leaving the bag. You need something for the strong winds down here, and the PD2 just lives up to its reputation. Well, that's gonna do it as far as the discs go. Do have a lot. This is basically the tournament setup I have for me. When I play casual rounds, I have a different backpack, carry less number of the molds, but just for the tournaments I want to make sure I have backups in case I lose any on the course. I don't want to lose a shot for the rest of the round, or maybe even a second round, something like that. So that's why I carry so many. What I'm carrying it in is the BP1 V3 by Prodigy. This is one of the largest bags on the market. Honestly, probably one of the better buys too, given how large it is. I think it's retail around $100 or so. Don't quote me on that. That's just what I'm kind of remembering off the top of my head. That's carrying all my disc. We got a putter pocket from Ridge Roller. This can even be removed and used as a small bag if you wanted. Holds up to like maybe 5 discs at the most, but it definitely can get 4 discs in here. And yeah, got some cooler bags on. I'm using the Zuka shelf cart that the bag is sitting on top of. Got a couple coolers underneath, keeping those Gatorades cold for the tournament rounds. And with that, I mean, I got everything I need in this bag. If you guys got any questions about the discs I'm using, maybe some weights, some plastic questions, stuff like that, feel free to post in the comments below. I'll be happy to get back to you. And with that, you know, I'll bring you guys an update later in the summer, and we'll see if anything has changed in the bag. But that's what I'm running with right now. Hope you guys enjoyed. We will catch you next time in the next video. See ya.